We continue to bring you our chat with Good Morning America's Robin Roberts in the final installment of our three-part interview. Robin shares with us what made it possible for her to go public with her battle against breast cancer.
That's right. Even when those around her said that she needed to just focus on herself and the healing process, for Robin, keeping quiet about her diagnosis was out of the question. And we learned in our interview with Robin how she took all of her life lessons, applied them to her life after being diagnosed with breast cancer. Take a listen.
It was much more advanced than we first thought, but still in the early enough stages that I felt confident I could beat it back. But then also to be told as a black woman, you know, you're less likely to get it, but you're more likely to die from it. I'm like, what do you do with that when someone says that to you? And
what do you do with that?
I got on my knees and I prayed. I made sure that again, making my message, making sure that all women and women of color realize that if you do find it early, it happens at a younger and younger age. And so I channeled that energy somewhere positive. And it really helped me. I thought I was going to help others, and I wanted to help others. That was my motivation. I was the one that was helped in return. I was the one that was lifted up. And really, it helped me get through a very, very difficult time in my life.
Because you went in for a mammogram. It was, you were doing your own breast exam. So you went in for the mammogram, and that came up negative.
Right, it was fine.
But it was the ultrasound.
Right, that detected the tumor. Younger women, looking here, younger women, I'm sorry, but it's true. But, and I knew this early on about myself and my family. Our breast tissue is dense. It's very hard to read with the mammogram, and that happens a lot with younger women. And so I'm just so thankful that my doctor, when he felt the lump and he said, okay, you got to get a mammogram and an ultrasound. I never had gotten an ultrasound at that point. I'd only ever gotten a mammogram. And he was a new doctor, thank the good Lord. And so when I got the mammogram and it was like clean, I'm like, woohoo, doing that little like, ooh, ooh,
all right. She's like, did a little bump and grind.
Yeah, my mom was right. We're just lumpy people, you know. And then I went in for the ultrasound, and it was like, ooh, and clear as a bell. I mean, I can remember on the table and looking over, and there was a screen, and I was like, I'm not a doctor, but that doesn't look good. And it was over 2 centimeters. It was a nice little size, and they were able to detect it with that.
Why hadn't you noticed it, though? I mean, did you check yourself regularly?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah,
okay.
I did. And it's one of those things, I'm telling you. It just, it was not there that morning. I found it in the evening. I'm like, it was so pronounced. But because I had done regular exams, I knew when I felt it, I'm like, this is different. This is different. This is not the other. Because my mom does say we're lumpy people. And I have found lumps, and we all do, and it just goes on. But when I felt it, I'm like, wow, it was harder. It was just different. And because I knew my body, I knew I couldn't wait.
So when you got to the point of revealing this, was it terrifying to you to take off the wig, reveal to the world, here's what you're going through, here's what I look like?
Yes. It was terrifying because it was uncharted territory. No one had ever done that before. No one had ever done that on live television.
Saw you the other day getting your Matrix Award with your beautiful bald head, and that's what I thought. She can wear one of these instead of the wig. That'll get people talking. Let's sit. Let's sit. Put that on there. Look at you. Boy, fantastic.
I wish there was a rule book or something that said, you know, you should do this, you should do that. And I'm so blessed that we were organic with it. We just, whatever I felt, I took my cue from survivors. I took my cue from people who were calling and what they were going through, and they said, hey, you know, can you discuss this? Or I would go in for an exam and something would happen, and I'd go like, okay, chances are if I'm going through this, other people are.
So your book, was that kind of to get your thoughts down on paper in terms of what you had gone through with your health, or was it much more than that?
No, it's really funny because when I released the book, it was prior to being diagnosed. It was 7 Rules to Live By, and I was just, you know, going around the country asking people, and it was just a couple of months later I was diagnosed. And boy, did I have to read my own book and go, I remember this, okay, put myself in position, focus on the solution, not the problem. Okay, we're going to focus on the treatment of this. And it was later after that, when I went through it, that I was asked to write another book. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Cancer is no more than a chapter in my life story. It is not my life story. So I'll add a chapter. That's why it's, you see, you know, 7 is like, crossed out and have the 8th rule. And the 8th rule is make your mess your message.
In that,
has really been Robin's mantra. We wanted to save this last viewer question for this part of our interview because women all over the globe are in the same situation. Alicia Sweat wrote in.
Robin is such an inspiration. My mentor just finished up her last rounds of chemo, and she had both breasts removed. And it wasn't easy seeing her go through it. But I know that Robin was a great example of the perseverance and tenacity that is involved with the disease. Tell her thank you, but does she have any words of wisdom that she can pass along?
No, I'm humbled for her to even say that I was any kind of help. This too shall pass. Be there for your friend. When you're going through something like this, part of the reason why I almost didn't say anything, because I didn't want people looking at me with the tilt of the head like, oh, we don't want to be pitied that are going through it. We want you to understand, and we want you to take your cue from us and be patient with us, because we don't know what we're going through sometimes and the different things that it's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster of emotions. But I would say to her friend, this too shall pass. It doesn't seem that way right now. You're a little bit stronger than you think you are. And this is just a chapter in your life story. Tell her it's not her life story. It's just a chapter. That's it.
Well, you just get chills listening to that.
And we also want to mention that Robin Roberts thanked the Are You Dense organization. We've had them on the show,
Yep.
a nonprofit organization to raise awareness about breast density and diagnosing breast cancer.
And that she attributes really big to helping save her life in terms of finding that breast tissue. And I think what's so awesome is that she's raising awareness and talking vocally about making sure that you know your body as women, no matter the age, because there's not a lot of testing being done as much under women that are under 40. So now that they're trying to get to a point where we're doing that testing, it's important because those kind of issues come up. If you're not familiar with your body, this could possibly happen, of course.
On a lighter note, she was so
Yes.
great to stick around and take a bunch of photos with us.
Whoa.
We have our favorite photo.
There it is. She did tease and say that Diane Sawyer of Good Morning America always likes to take a little fun picture. So we each took a little serious one like, hello, we're with Robin Roberts. And then we were like, hey, we're kicking it with Robin Roberts. So
Yeah, she was great about that, so we thank her. And
Yeah,
we're
big
glad that we
time.
were able to bring that to you.
definitely. I like that. Make your mess your message. Can be put better. All right, when we come back,